Over the course of this past 6 months, I've developed over 600 trading strategies. Maybe 50 kind of give you good results in a backtest. Actual live strategies, starting from 600 down to say 10 useful strategies. In quant development, you still need the domain knowledge, you still need the insight, you still need to be able to observe markets. I mean, when you observe markets, then you translate into valuable insights and you test them through Python or backtesting. But even through backtesting, using AI, it still does not give you the optimal results. You have to actually tweak it with your own experience and iterate many, many times. For example, over the course of this past 6 months, I've developed over 600 trading strategies. Some of them are variants of initial ones. But of the 600, I would say maybe 50, when you actually put through a backtest, they kind of give you good results in a backtest. But backtests are all different. You have vector backtest, you have event-based backtest. So if you use vector backtest, your results may look excellent, but when you do event-based backtest, they drop by a lot. So once you cut that second layer of backtesting, then you have to move on to something called paper backtesting live, and then finally using paper money and then using actual money. So by the time you trickle down to actual live strategies, starting from 600 down to say 10 useful strategies. But what you have to watch out for is actually there's a lot of data snooping, look ahead bias, as well as the AI tries to give you a lot of synthetic data. So you have to be careful about that. And you have to write that into the guidelines and memory so that you'll not repeat those mistakes. Often more than not, when I started out, I found that a lot of the data, a lot of the performance will fake because it tries to deliver something for you. Whether or not it can do it, you will still deliver the results. Even if the probability or confidence level is very low, they deliver results and the results may be fake. So be careful and check the results. Don't develop with AI and backtest using Cloud Code, for example, and assume it works perfectly. It does not work that way. You have to actually backtest it, use events-based backtesting, do paper trading, then small bits of live trading. When you ask you to backtest, sometimes you give you false results or you have look-ahead bias. So it's using contemporaneous data. It's using data that it knows to project a strategy forward. So it looks fantastic. So you have to make sure that it does not have that look-ahead bias. That's one important thing. And then the other thing is that when you ask it to do a backtest, it actually does a backtest because it may not actually carry out the backtest. That's the second thing I find out. The third thing is that it also depends on the backtesting libraries that you use.
So why have we created the audit layer? Just to ensure that despite making, spending some time writing a decent prompt, we just want to make sure that these kind of look-ahead bias doesn't creep in. There are no failures, signal persistence failures. So that is the signal of a decent quality. We want to make sure that that happens. And so we specify a bunch of things in terms of how we want to audit our entire strategy, right? So we set up a bunch of categories, a bunch of criteria. So we have multiple checks, such as are there a lot of nans? Is there look-ahead bias and others? And once you run that, it gives you an audit report with regard to typical mistakes have they occurred. And if it passes through all these tests, then we can be a little more confident that, okay, our strategy looks all right, right? So once you complete that, you run a backtest in order to observe the results, which I have done later. And then you have performance metrics that you work, okay?